Hello. 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 What's up, David? How's it going, bro? How's everything going? Hola, Belen. Oh, shit. All right. It's going. You're at work? That's good, bro. Glad. Don't worry about it, bro. You're good. Yo, Chewy, what's happening? So right now, today's the beginning of a new week. It is the third week, right, of the new year. If you guys didn't catch yesterday's hold on. Mass, I encourage you guys to go see it. Um, this year I'm gonna be a little bit more. Where you work at, bro? This year I'm gonna be a little bit more unapologetic on my delivery. Um, the stuff that I do for Patreon will be a bit more raw and a little bit more I guess real. Um, I'm gonna try to be a bit more. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna be a bit more raw, a bit more real, a bit more like I don't know, like I think this year calls for more honesty, a bit more truth, and a bit more let's say I don't want to call it ass kicking, but I think people need to understand the energy more so. You know what I mean? Now don't worry about it, bro. You don't gotta subscribe. Your sister subscribe. Um Look, right now I'm gonna do a teaching that I did on TikTok already, but this is gonna be for Patreon. Um, Honestly, like I feel like I want things to be as real as they possibly can without being so offensive. You know what I mean? La Bruja, ¿cómo estás? Thank you for the follow. May you be blessed now forever. May Santa Muerte protect you and God guide you. Hi, Hunter Graziani. Hi, Comic You Rumbla. Um, what up, Dre Dog? Hi. So right now I'm gonna do this teaching that I did, but this is gonna be a bit more raw and uncut for Patreon. So I apologize. Again, so again, this is the third week of the year. This is about the time where people start to fall off of the resolutions. This is about the time that people stop going to the gym, stop doing the shit they said they were gonna do. This is that time. Thank you so much, Cupcake Cool Cutie Chan. If you are one of those people that do this shit every year, where you make a New Year's resolution and don't stick to it, change that habit. New Year to do shit differently. Don't wait for the new year to get your shit in order. Don't wait for the new year to start again. The moment is now. I know some of you fall into depression, fall into your bullshit, fall into the same things over and over and over and over and over again. Step away from that shit. You have no one to blame for yourself. Your shortcomings are your shortcomings. These are your shortcomings. Don't let the world decide for you. Don't let your actions fucking derail you before anything ever is allowed to take place in your life. A lot of people want to blame society. They want to blame others for their shortcomings. They want to blame everything but themselves. The meaning is that the statue is Santa Muerte. I mean, like, whatever you feel Santa Muerte, that's the meaning of it. AB, inbox me if you need help. It's a part of, like, I want to say Santa Muerte is a big, has a, a big part in the cultura mexicana, but the death energy belongs to the world. The death energy is just not for Mexicans. I think last time somebody Googled this for me. Mexicans ain't the only ones that die. You can fact check me if you want to look up and Google if other people die besides Mexicans. You can Google that for me. Um, but I'll be honest with you. I don't think Mexicans are only ones that die. So death is for everybody. Death welcomes all. Yeah, I don't. Palo is the sip is way different. Palo Palo is way different. Nah, my name is not Jose or Miguel. Yeah, I'm gonna be more raw, bro. This is a year where I say, fuck it, I'm just gonna be me. I'm gonna be me, unapologetic. I'm gonna be me the way God intended me to be. I'm a little bit of a jackass sometimes. I get it. I'm a little bit of a fucking fool. I get it. But that's the energy this year calls for. And I think a lot of people, um, don't understand that being real sometimes isn't being rude. Sometimes being real is what's needed. You know what I mean? People pretend to be nice and they're not nice. People pretend to be holy, they're not holy. People pretend to be righteous, they're not righteous. People pretend to be knowledgeable, they're not knowledgeable. Being real is a true form of honoring God, I think sometimes. And our true nature, as long as it's humble, it's not offensive to God. If you speak truth, then truth should be heard. That's, you see, this is sometimes why I pause the lives, because I get stupid comments like this. How is La Muerte good if the day you betray her, she's gonna kill? And if you did that to Jesus, he wouldn't. Look, you're fucking ignorant. The person that, or the energy, death comes from God. God ordained death. God ordains life. God ordained death as a balance. Without death, there would be no balance. For those that think death is an enemy, death is a creation of God. If you believe in God, this is his works. This is exactly why I sometimes mute shit, because sometimes I get tired of hearing the dumb shit that people post. And again, this is why people look, if you can't respect my belief, you can just leave. I praise God. For those that know me, I praise God, and I believe in his son. I don't know if you can tell that there's a image of God on my altar and a crucifix above my altar and a picture of Jesus. Again, I don't understand why people come in here. I don't get it. If this is not for you, you can excuse yourself, because this is why the world is in the shape it's in. People are not tolerant of other people's beliefs. First of all, here's the thing, and I'm going to end it with this. It is my God-given right to believe the way I want to believe. There's many roads to perdition. There's many roads to salvation. Whatever road makes you a better person, that's the road you should take. Secondly, as an American-born person, I have freedom of speech and freedom of religion. Why people tend to forget that shit and want to impose their beliefs on others, it's beyond me. And the third thing, most importantly, we don't hold dominion over God. God holds dominion over us. There's groups of people that believe, oh, God belongs to us. Silly rabbit. God don't belong to you. He belongs to nothing. We belong to him. And which in every way we fucking venerate him, and honor his creation, and honor his purpose. That is the way to go. Again, death is not the enemy here. God created death. So if you have a beef with death, take it up with God. If you're so Christian, if you're so Catholic, if you're so fucking whatever you are, run that shit with the big man and ask him, why is there death, dear God? He's going to tell you, for balance. Without death, there is no balance. It'd be a fucking shit show. And that's all it is. So for those that have a beef with death, God, look to God for that. Because this is God's design. Nothing is done without God's consent. No evil, no good, no right, no wrong. We have choices. And the choices are very clear. We are allowed to choose our destiny. We are allowed to praise the way we want to praise. The main thing here is everyone that comes to my lives know that I honor God first and foremost. And Santa Muerte is a creation of God. He is an extension of his will. He is an extension of his order. She is justice incarnate, created by the God that most people praise. So again, when people say, she's the enemy, blah, 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 whackity, 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 whack. It's just them not knowing. It's them not understanding God's will. Because this is God's will. Death doesn't come to punish you. Death comes as an alignment. It's promised, not promised you. Look, Draco, look, you can't even fucking, spell correctly. Let's just call it what it is. You're one of those people that are going to just, antagonize. She didn't promise me nothing. I do this out of love, out of respect. What does she promise me? Nothing. Remove the D out of your sentence and probably out your mouth. But here we go. Ready? I'm going to pause this because I don't want to get in any bullshit shenanigans with people. Again, what it is what it is. People are either going to understand or not. And this ain't for everybody. Like I said, this year, I'm going to be a bit more apologetic. Still try to remain humble. But I'm going to speak the way I'm intended to speak. I'm not talking out of hate. I'm talking with patience. And again, like, this is not for me to explain to you or justify myself to you. I'm trying to give a teaching. I don't got to justify myself to anybody. I'm trying to accommodate you by explaining to you. But again, people are going to stick to their narrative and they don't listen. People won't listen. They're stuck in your way. So again, in order for this to move forward, I'll have to block it, or you're just going to have to accept it and move on. Oh yeah, I'm going to do me. That's, and again, I did a mass about this. People find religion to be, just show yourself out, fool. You ain't special to me to block. Did you need some hugs? You want some attention? What do you want? You want to suck your thumb and go sit in the corner and watch us do some shit? I'll pay you no mind. So look, as I said, people find comfort in religion. People find comfort because they want to go with the masses. Yesterday, during the mass, I talked about people that are sheep, people that are watchers, and people that are walkers. Sheep follow the herd. They're told what to do, told how to feel, told what to think. They're told where to go, and they listen. Watchers, they observe. They know truth, but they don't act on it. They know in silence, but they don't do shit about it. That's not as bad as a sheep. The walkers move. They move with spirituality. They move with knowledge. Doers do. They put in the work towards spiritual awakening and alignment. So there's sheep, there is watchers, and there's movers and shakers that we'll call walkers. When you are a watcher, you know truth, but you don't act on it. If you believe in God, don't judge. Yeah, I don't judge others. Again, so there's people that will always be sheep. They want to be in the know. They want to be with the in crowd. They don't want to create waves. They want to be okay. She's beautiful, Boogeyman. That's beautiful. Hi, Vibes, Eva. So if our ancestors practiced all of these things, they stripped us. Yes, they did. We were colonized. And here's the thing is, that's okay. To the victors go the spoil. But it doesn't mean we can't fucking come back to it. We can still have all the American benefits and all the spirituality from the world that we want. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing is, sheep will be always sheep. Sheep will be led to the slaughter. Sheep will be told what to do and they'll listen. Sheep. If you go to church and you just think that's enough, that's not enough. You got to live it. You have to embody it. You have to believe in it. Not just go for an hour a week and think, I did my duty, and go be a fucking jackass for the rest of the week. That's not true spirituality. That's not religion. Just because you put in 1 hour a week does not mean you're aligned. That's not alignment. You're fucking fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. You can't just go for an hour and be like, I'm aligned. If you don't do the work, if you don't do the fucking right things, it doesn't matter. I don't know if LA is trying to write something. I don't know if it's trying to put mamadas, but that's not the way you spell it. So you're probably a no sabo person. So if that's what you're trying to put, correct their spelling. Again, ignorance is bliss. So you must be blissful as a motherfucker. I'm very American. I'm very American. Who says I'm not? I'm a proud American. Hater me. You're the one that can't spell in Spanish. A ver. No sabo. No sabo. I need attention. I need a hug. LA. Where you stay at? I'm from Weemos West, Harbor area, LA County. Where you from? Talk that shit. Talk that shit. This is a new year. I'm just gonna be me. I'm from Wilmington, West Side. Let me know. Anyways, shout out to NYC. And it's mamadas, como lo que tú dices. Mamadas, las que dices. M-A-M-A-D-A-S. Mamadas. Hey, I'm not hard to find. Anyways, mamadas. It's mamadas. Look, can't spell, can't speak, can't fucking do anything right. Look at that. See yourself out. Anyways, people like that are people that speak out of their ass to speak. True spirituality is not once a week. It's not 1 hour a day. You live it. You walk it. And I hold true to my conviction. Let's follow this pendejo. A ver. I'll talk to you later. Anyways. Mamadas. Anyways. Look. People like that, they cover up their own fucking shortcomings by pointing at others. They don't know about their own spirituality, so they want to look at others and shame them. That's not true spirituality. That's not religion. Religion and spirituality is not to condemn others. It is to walk in alignment with God. It is to walk in alignment with God, not to condemn, not to judge. The same people that created the Catholic Church crucified the Savior. How does that work? The same people that condemned God, God's Son, then took his mantle and conquered the world with it. There's something wrong with that. But if you see, people, they condemned God. They condemned Jesus. They pointed at him because he was different, talked differently, said different shit, believed in different things that they did at the time, and they condemned him for it. They crucified him for it. So the Roman Catholic Church is only the Roman Empire. That's it. That's all it is. They took the image of the crucified Son of God and conquered the world with it. And people like that, people that follow that religion, don't follow Jesus Christ. They don't follow his teachings. They don't. No sabes escribir, pendejo. Es pendejadas. 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 Pendejo como tú. Mira, es Pendegadas. Pendejadas. Si vas a escribir algo, escríbelo bien, idiota. No seas imbécil. Everyone give this fool some love. He needs attention. His mama didn't hug him. He probably don't have a daddy. Everyone give him love. Say, hey, LA, you're okay. You're okay. Everyone show him some love. Everyone give him love. They didn't teach you right then, fool. They should have taught you some manners. They should have taught you to respect people. I'm not. I'm just fucking entertaining myself. Because at the heart of it all, I've always said it. You disrespected me in the first place, brother. Watch your mouth, watch your tone when you come to someone's house. That's it. He's illiterate in both English and Spanish. You're right, La Brujita. Everyone show him some love. Everyone just give him some love because he needs attention. Everyone say, LA. What's your name? LA. What's your first name? Give me your first name so I could address you as a man. Bro, no one said Mexican LA, pendejo. I'm Americanized. I know that. I've been American. Who the fuck says I wasn't? Baboso. You know what? Huntington Park, right? I got peoples. I'll ask about you. What's your first name? What's your first name? Give me your first name so I can address you like a man. What's your first name? A ver, tantos huevos. What's your first name? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Anyways. No, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I just like cowards that show they're cowards when they're asked if they're cowards. Anyways, true religion is not an hour a week. It's not when you feel like being fucking religious. It's not. It's not. Look at this. Again, the reason I'm entertaining this, you know why? Because it brings up my views. It brings up my views, bro. Believe it or not, this negativity brings up my likes and my views. That's why I'm entertaining it. After this is done, I won't give you a second thought. Keep talking shit because it only brings up my views. Go for it. That's why you're here to do what? Okay, you not hard to find. Wilmington, ask about me. Bring it up, bro. You're doing all the work for me, homie. Look at my numbers. Keep talking shit. You're doing me a favor. Yeah, I think he likes me. He might think I'm cute. That's what it is. It's all right. We accept everyone here, bro. Anyways, so here we go. The way this works is this. This is my spiritual circle. This is my spiritual space. Everyone is welcome here. I always said it, Catholics, Christians, Muslims, people, they're all welcome here. I've never shown disrespect to anybody, and everyone knows I show no disrespect unless given disrespect. And again, it's funny that people see religious activity as being offensive. Being spiritual doesn't call for people to act up. If this doesn't align with you, you got to just keep moving, and that's fine. That's it. It's simple. It's quite simple. This is not for everybody, and I understand that. And I'm not here to convert nobody. I'm here to try to teach. Teach my points. Teach what I feel is my truth. And my truth does not have to belong to you or anybody. It's the truth that I speak that is true in my heart. And that is what we're talking about. They're sheep, watchers, and walkers. When you are aligned and you make movement and you align yourself with God and Santa Muerte or whatever you believe in, you walk. Hey, what's up, the Calazonian? It's been a minute. When you're a watcher, you know truth, but you don't act on it because you want to stay in your lane. And that's fine. And when you're sheep, you're told how to act, what to say, and you believe it. You go with the masses. You do no real searching for yourself. You do no real evaluation. You do no real anything. You don't. How do you attend to Santa Muerte? You ask. If you need help, Cel Gutierrez, let me know. Look, if that guy left, when that negativity left, my numbers dropped. That's the funny thing about negativity. It attracts fucking energy. Ain't that crazy? I can be here peaceful as fuck and my numbers stay low. The moment someone be's negative in this bitch, my numbers rise. Why? Because energy gets pulled in and there's nothing more powerful than negative energy. Ain't that fucking crazy? I just want to fucking show you guys that the moment that guy might have left, that negative energy went with him. And my numbers dropped by 30 people. Negativity attracts negativity. Negativity attracts negative behavior. Negativity attracts all kinds of bad shit. It's crazy that even right here, the moment shit gets out of line, it goes up. Thank you, XXXO Verdos. How do you know? You just know. So look, I'm gonna teach now what I think is my truth. Cel, all you gotta do is ask from the heart. Petition, pray. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Hello. That's all you gotta do. Just pray with sincerity and devotion. Be intentional. That's it. Ojitos de miel, you dreamt of her in blue. When I do the watcher, I pray to God. And again, these ain't demons. This is God's creation. Watch. I just went through this with somebody else, so I'm not gonna go over it again. If this ain't for you, you can just go with the watcher. Beautiful, the Calzonian. Beautiful, Cindy or Cindy. Anyways, negativity breeds negativity. Negative energy attracts negative energy. Stay in your lane, stay focused, stay aligned. Pray to God, pray to Santa Muerte, whatever you believe in, make it yours. Yes, Diane M88. And that's Diana. That's what I preach here. The watcher, bro, I appreciate your concern. I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. Again, like I already went through this conversation with somebody else. Have a good day, man. I already found them. Thank you. Anyways, look, I'm gonna go into the teaching of today. La Santa Muerte daily teaching. All right. This is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna post it on Patreon for those that want to follow more. You see, you try to be polite to people, and you just can't. You just can't. Let's see, who's this person? Oh, I don't argue with women, so I'll let it be. That's it. And they still want to laugh, but I don't argue with women, so that's not for me. Nah. Again, I was talking about this earlier. This person wasn't here. There's sheep, there's watchers, and then there's walkers. Sheep told what to do. Watchers, but I don't argue with women. I'm respectful. I'm not like a liberal. You know what I'm saying? I don't disrespect women. It's not my thing. Go for it, bruja. Argue with her. I know it sounds funny, but yeah, I don't argue with women. Well, you're other fucking laughing like this is funny. I don't go to people's mosques, churches, or places of spiritual worship and laugh at them. That's very disrespectful. That's very disrespectful. Again, the way people act, other people are trying to fucking do their spiritual thing. Fucking, it's embarrassing, not for me, but for you. Have some common decency. That's all I'm asking. If this ain't for you, you could keep moving. Yeah, people don't understand. And that's okay. I'm not here for everybody. I'm here for those that want to learn. And again, for people that try to be like very I guess there's people that are always going to be very gun-ho about the religion, and that's fine. That's beautiful. Like I like people that are fucking very much in their devotion to God. I just don't see why people have to be very disrespectful to others. Again, this is more than just, to me, spirituality. It's a way of life. It's in my blood. It's who I am. And again, how people think that they have the right to sort of condemn, accuse, or judge others based on anything is beyond me. It just shows their nature, their true nature, and it's their shortcomings, not mine, not yours. It's theirs. So when people act a certain way, I let them fucking act the way they want to. I'm not their mama. I'm not their daddy. So again, if they didn't have anything, told to them to respect others, that's just the way they were brought up. They were brought up that way, to be disrespectful and got a turn and whatever the fuck. That's fine. That's fine. There's gonna be kids everywhere. Walkers, people that walk in truth. You know what I'm saying? So there's sheep, watchers, and walkers. Here's the thing is, I welcome new experiences. I talk to people that are Muslim, Jewish, Luciferians, Buddhist. I talk to everyone because I want to absorb that shit. I want to learn. There's no true spiritual path. Everything leads to God. That's it. Everything leads to God. So when I get to talking to a Muslim, a Jewish person, an atheist, I'm not talking to judge. I'm talking to learn. And you guys seen me here talk to other people. I think in the past, I've talked to people that believe in Lucifer. I talk to people that believe in Allah. I talk to people that believe in Mother Earth. I talk to people that believe in Buddha. I talk to people that believe in Krishna, because it's all the same. And that's the way we learn from people. And that's the way acceptance happens. Because when we find out how closely knit our religious beliefs are, we're the fucking same. But leave it to humanity to fuck it up. But that's how I learn. I speak to anyone about their beliefs, not to judge, but to learn. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. Again, Jesus is right there. I don't know why you can't see him. Maybe do one of these and you can see him right there. All right. Anyways, but again, that's the beauty of it. When I speak to people, I don't speak to condemn, to judge. I don't speak to them to mock them. I honestly want to learn. I want to learn. I believe in the one true God, the one that sits above all. That's what I believe in. And again, I think we all, in our own way, believe in the same God because it's all the same shit. If you read the Bible, the Quran, if the Jewish scriptures, if you read any real spiritual or religious text, it's all the same shit. It's all the same message. It is all the same stories, just told differently. And maybe through translation, things got lost or changed, but it's so similar. And again, people act like this is my team. I don't believe in intolerance. Again, like I always want to talk to people about their beliefs. I always want to speak to people about how they feel because that's how we truly learn from each other. Death is not something to be scared of. And again, if you're scared of death, this is where we learn ojitos de miel. It is God's will that we come to a conclusion here. There's finality in this life, but there's not finality in moving forward from it. I've learned not to fear death because death is inevitable. What comes, we mustn't fear. We must embrace it. And again, what death does for us, it's a finality here, but it's also a door to the next chapter of our spiritual journey. And again, for those people that believe in God, understand this. This is God's will. This is what God ordained. This is what God chose for his children, his offspring. Well, Ojitos de Miel, you're at the right spot, I hope. So again, I'm going to try to this year be realistic about things. In the past, I've always turned the other cheek when people get... This year, I feel that people need to be held accountable for the way they speak, the way they talk, and people should not be fucking allowed to run amok just to talk shit. People that come through here, I usually just block them and whatever. Nah, I friended that guy that was here earlier. I almost sent him a message later. And he stays in Huntington Park. I'm not that far from Huntington Park. If he ever wants to talk to a motherfucker like a man, that's perfect because I like to talk to people. I like to talk to people. I don't hide from shit like this. Again, I'm not confrontational, but I'm not a punk. I'm sorry for your loss, Mercury Queen, but again, I'm glad you see it. All right, Goddess, that means we need to align you real quick. Hello, I'm a strong believer in the Santa. 2 owls always come at night. Could that be a sign? Yes, it is. Username La Bonita. Goddess, inbox me. There might be something misaligned, so let's just get you aligned really quick. That's it. It's gonna be something simple. There's probably a little misalignment, so let's align you up real quick. Let's get you on. Let's get you on and rotate your tires and align you really quick. All right. Anyways, so I'm from this, and I'm today's teaching. All right. I did a teaching on TikTok. I don't got no opinion on that. On Palo, like that's not. I don't like to speak on things I don't really know about. I can speak briefly on it. I'm just gonna say this: anything that requires you to fucking make an investment of thousands of dollars to be elevated, that's not spirituality. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't. Someone asked me about Jesus Malverde yesterday. Jesus Malverde, I got no real. So I don't like to speak on things I have no idea about. Like so I'm not gonna give my 2 cents on shit that I have no reason to talk about or have no knowledge. I don't want to disrespect it. So again, maybe you might be someone that does follow. Maybe you could enlighten me. That's the truth about it. You know what I'm saying? But I've had a lot of people. Oh my God, I love frogs. When my son passed away, I remember seeing Santa Muerte statue in the garden a few weeks after later. That's that's beautiful, but I'm sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss, but at least you had some confirmation. You know what I'm saying? So that's beautiful in a very sad way. Losing a child, I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Anyways, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. I dug my statue up and felt like a funeral. Was depressed as fuck. What happened? You buried a statue? Gracias por los corazoncitos. Thanks for the hearts, Virginia Longoria. All right, so I bury them when they break, or I fix them. If I could fix my statues, I fix them. That's beautiful. At least you have some kind of closure with that. I love frogs. It means there was a strong energy trying to fuck with you, Esteban. I'm doing a day, Iris. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Hopefully you're having a beautiful day as well. All right, so let me get into this teaching. I'm gonna stop interacting with y'all for a bit, and I'm gonna get to this teaching. Santa Muerte is powerful, but I mean, yeah, I believe that. Um, definitely. Do you practice palo, Sai, on TV? Because again, like I've had some conversations with santeros and people that practice palo and shit, but it's very vague. It's a very close practice. And again, all I know is that someone had to pay $5,000 to get initiated, and like 10,000 to elevate. Like for me, from what I've seen or heard of people, it's like a money grab. They try to fuck you over for feria, for money. So that's all I've known, because I've had people come to me and asking for protection after they didn't pay those people. So like, just be very careful. I always say practice, but practice carefully. Don't get involved with things you don't know about, or if you have funny feelings about it, don't get involved. Again, the energy has to be there for you. The energy has to feel right. The people have to feel right. So I don't have nothing negative to say about the practice. I think there's negative things to say about people that go after people for money. They play on their insecurities, they play on their fears, they play on their emotional state. You know what I mean? I do everything, Diana M88. If your candles break and they're always black, bro, there's a problem. You probably need to cleanse or need to sort of align your energy. Oh, that's good. The Mija edition. All right, look, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna I'm gonna start talking real quick, and I'm gonna do this teaching real fast. All right. So I apologize if I was a little bit rude earlier, but I get sometimes a little bit yeah, they charge a lot of money. I don't do that shit. But your man's a palero. I don't. Again, maybe he could educate me on me, so I know, so I don't talk shit about it. You know what I mean? All right. Anyways, I'm gonna do my teaching real quick. Um, bendiciones. Bueno, qué bonito, Isabela Montes, qué bonito. Thank you for the follow, the Mija edition. Simply share the live. Thank you, Simply Nena. Thank you for the sharing the live. All right, so you guys ready for this teaching real quick? All right, I'm gonna do this teaching real fast. Again, I did this before earlier in the last year. I'm gonna do it now a little bit more raw and real, and this is gonna be posted on Patreon. All right, here we go. Ready? Here we go. La Santa Muerte Daily Teachings, Day 6, How Her Presence Feels. Spoken under God Almighty, and La Santísima Muerte. This is awareness, not fantasy. This teaching is necessary because a lot of people are confused. Not because La Santísima Muerte is confusing, but because people expect her presence to feel like something it doesn't. They expect fireworks, goosebumps, fear, visions, a rush, some dramatic shit that knocks them over and proves something happened. Something intense enough to talk about. Something heavy enough to validate belief. Something dramatic enough to post. And when that doesn't happen, they assume something is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Your expectations are. The first hard truth. La Santísima Muerte, her presence is not loud. It is not flashy. It is not theatrical. It is not chaos. It is not overwhelming. Energy crashing into a room. And it definitely not fear-based. If fear is what you feel, that fear came from you, not from her. People who are constantly afraid of her and her presence are usually afraid of truth, accountability, endings, losing control, facing reality without illusion. Her presence doesn't scream, you know what, I'm gonna start this over because I felt I was doing it too fast in the beginning. I'm gonna start over, my bad. Let's do this again because I don't want to do this shit and seem like I'm rushing through this shit. This shit should be said with respect and slowly. You know what I'm saying? I apologize. Let's do this again. La Santa Muerte Daily Teaching Series, Day 6, How Her Presence Feels. Spoken under God Almighty and La Santísima Muerte. This is awareness, not fantasy. This teaching is necessary because a lot of people are confused. Not because La Santa Muerte is confusing, but because people expect her presence to feel like something it doesn't. They expect fireworks, goosebumps, fear, visions, a rush, some dramatic shit that knocks them over and proves something happened. Something intense enough to talk about. Something heavy enough to validate belief. Something dramatic enough to post. And when that doesn't happen, they assume something is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Your expectations are. The first hard truth. La Santa Muerte and her presence is not loud. It is not flashy. It is not theatrical. It is not chaos. It is not overwhelming energy crashing into a room. And it is definitely not fear-based. If fear is what you feel, that fear came from you, not from her. People who are constantly afraid of her presence are usually afraid of truth, accountability, endings, losing control, facing reality without illusion. Her presence doesn't scream, it settles. And when things settle, whatever you've been avoiding rises to the surface. What most people expect and why it's wrong. People expect her presence to feel heavy, dark, scary, intense, overwhelming. That expectation comes from movies, folklore, fear-based teachings, and people never actually sat still long enough to understand her. Real presence doesn't announce itself. La Santísima Muerte does not jump into a room yelling, "Here I am." That's ego thinking. That's human fantasy. Real power doesn't flex. It doesn't perform. It doesn't need attention. It exists. What her presence actually feels like. For most people, her presence feels quiet, steady, grounding, neutral, calm, sobering. Sometimes it feels like a deep exhale you didn't realize you were holding. Emotional stillness after chaos. Clarity without emotions attached. A pause in mental noise. A sudden sense of it's okay, this is real. Not excitement, stability. And stability feels strange when you've lived in survival mode or emotional chaos for years. Peace can feel boring when you're addicted to intensity. Why some people feel uncomfortable. Let's be honest. A lot of people say her energy feels heavy. No. What feels heavy is your guilt, your lies, your avoidance, your unresolved grief, your bullshit. Her presence strips illusion. And when illusion drops, people feel exposed. They lose the stories they tell themselves. They lose the excuses. They lose the fantasy version of who they pretend to be. That's not darkness. That's honesty. Her presence does not cater to emotion. This matters more than people want to admit. La Santísima Muerte does not match your mood. She does not mirror your drama. She does not feed emotional spirals. She does not validate chaos just because you're hurting. If you approach her crying, panicking, spiraling, or desperate, her presence will feel quiet. That silence is not rejection. It is correction. She's not here to babysit emotions. She's here to stabilize reality. And sometimes that stabilization feels cold to people who want comfort instead of truth. When her presence feels stronger, her presence becomes more noticeable when you stop bullshitting yourself. You stop pretending everything is fine. You accept something is actually over. You admit what you already know. You finally let go of what's been dead. That's when people say, I felt her strongly. What they actually felt was alignment, clicking into place. That truth has weight. Clarity has weight. Endings have weight. That weight isn't fear. It's reality landing. Why some people panic? Let's talk about this without sugarcoating it. Some people panic because they were taught death energy is dangerous. That teaching fucks people up. Death is not danger. Death is boundary. Death is what ends what no longer belongs. Death is what stops decay from spreading. When her presence enters a space, things that don't belong feel uncomfortable. Toxic people, bad habits, self-deception, false narratives, addictions, unhealthy attachments. If you are deeply attached to what needs to end, her presence will feel confrontational, not violent, confrontational. Because truth controls illusion by default. Her presence is not possession. This needs to be said clearly and without fear. La Santa Muerte does not take over people. She does not hijack bodies. She does not possess devotees. She does not erase free will. That fear comes from ignorance and bad teachings rooted in control. Her presence does not remove choice. It clarifies it. You still choose. You just can't lie to yourself as easily anymore. Why some people feel nothing at first. This part matters a lot. Some people say, I don't feel anything. That does not mean she's absent. It usually means you're grounded. You're not projecting fear. You're not chasing sensation. You're not fantasizing. You're not forcing meaning. Silence does not mean nothing is happening. It often means things are settling correctly. Not everything needs to be felt intensely to be working. Some things are integrated, not dramatized. Her presence changes over time. As alignment deepens, her presence may feel like inner calm, emotional discipline, sharper boundaries, less tolerance for bullshit, clear decisions, a stronger backbone, less need for reassurance. That's not coincidence. That's structure taking root. People chasing constant sensations miss this completely and stay stuck chasing feelings instead of growth. What her presence is not. Let's kill the myths completely right now. Her presence is not fear, panic, obsession, dependency, chaos, emotional overload. If those things show up, look at your state, not her energy. She brings order. This order comes from resistance. Final truth. La Santa Muerte's presence feels like truth setting into place. Sometimes calm, sometimes sobering, sometimes uncomfortable as hell, but never chaotic, never manipulative, never cruel. If you're ready for honesty, her presence will feel steady. If you're clinging to bullshit, it will feel confrontational. That's not punishment. That's reality, adjusting. Her presence does not destroy you. It strips away what never belonged. Always under the authority of God Almighty. Sit with this. Teaching. Stop chasing sensations. Stop romanticizing fear. Truth does not need to be loud to be powerful.